living life is game. Hey, hey, 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 love yourself first, explicitly. You owe it to yourself to move with that energy. Empower your self-esteem. Self-love is king. That's the only way to win. That's how you empower your dream. Living life is game. Hey, hey, living life is game. Hey, hey, living life is game. Hey, hey, living life is game. Hey, hey.
Hey, y'all. Happy Monday and welcome to March Madness. Yeah, not the regular March Madness, the basketball March Madness. A going live every day for the last 2 weeks in March Madness that I made up. At least I think I made it up. Please tell me I made it up, y'all, because I have not heard of anybody doing March Madness, but I'm just trying to kind of, hey, Tim, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. And I got to figure out how to make you a moderator. And I thought about it last night and then we got busy and then, yeah. So I'm going to have to get in here and figure out how to do that because I definitely appreciate you for volunteering to do that. And of course, for those of you who are already in the room, you know, Tim always comes and reminds you to hit those thumbs up because it definitely helps your girl in the algorithm. And it just lets me know that y'all are enjoying the content. So I appreciate you, Tim, for doing that. But yeah, I just was like, okay, I love a challenge. And so I'm like, what can I do? So I did Vlogmas, I did Vlogtober, and I'm like, okay, I don't know of anything else coming up. And so this is like Wallace's favorite time of year is March Madness. And so I've been hearing a lot about March Madness. And I'm like, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I am going to do March Madness and show up for these last 2 weeks of March every single day. Now, I would normally be on today anyway, but I will be here tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that and the day after that. Coming to you live, hopefully with some content that you will enjoy and be able to get something out of. I'm going to be talking about everything from, you know, tips to help you with your personal life, your spiritual life, your business life. Today, that's what we're going to talk about is the business part of it. Hey, Deborah, how are you? Thanks so much for being here. And you know what? I think OCD-ish was here early because for some reason, YouTube keeps putting it out that I'm coming out at the wrong time. And I even went in there in YouTube studio, made sure that the time was right. But then when I logged on, I saw that Nikki had already been here. And I'm like, okay, YouTube must still be putting me out. Hey, J3, how are you? And so I was looking for a challenge. Let me get some water. And so I came up with March Madness. So we're going to be talking about all different kind of things for the next couple of weeks. I hope y'all get your paper and pad because I'm going to be sharing things with y'all that I typically only share in like my one-on-one paid coaching sessions or with my contracts where I'm going to speak to groups. So I'm giving y'all some good information for the free. So I want y'all to take good advantage of this because it's going to be some good information. And so for those of you who are new, because you know I am streaming on a couple of different platforms, my name is Stae Hall. I am a transformational speaker, a life coach, a certified emotional intelligence trainer, as well as soft skills and the CEO of iSalt. And so now that we have all of that out of the way, let's get into what we are going to be talking about today. And that is navigating entrepreneurship beyond the social media platforms. So I don't know how many of you have heard about it, but word on the street is TikTok is going to be going away. And if TikTok goes away, that is going to be the livelihood for a lot of different people. But what we need to keep in mind is we don't own any of these social media platforms. And so I know for a lot of us, what we want to do is get on these social media platforms and we want to become monetized, right? So monetization is a big thing. Everybody wants to, hey, how are you, Dawn? Thank you for being here. Everybody wants to get on these platforms, share their content, grow their tribes, grow their teams, whatever it is that you call it for yourself. And in doing that, you want to be able to do what you're passionate about. You want to share your knowledge, but you're hoping to get to whatever level it is that they have set for you to become monetized. And for those of you who aren't in these content creator streets, monetization is exactly that, getting monetary gain, being paid for your content. And that is great. And I would love to be monetized. I'm now monetized on TikTok. I'm monetized on Facebook, not yet monetized on YouTube. However, monetized on TikTok, but TikTok is saying, hey, we're going away. Monetized on Facebook. I got an email from Facebook about a week or two ago that said, as of May 15th, we're no longer going to be paying for content. And they can do that. It's their platform. It's their business. They don't owe us anything. I mean, we even know on our jobs, for those of us who work in hey, Wallace, how are you, boo? Thank you for tuning in. And so for those of us who live in a right to work state, you can be let go from your job without any warning, without any explanation. And it's no different out here in these content creation streets. And so with me being a lifetime entrepreneur, I'm kind of used to that type of thing. And so I've always situated my businesses in a way where I wasn't dependent on any one thing to make sure that I made my money. Like, for instance, even though I use social media to reach people, I also build a very heavy email list. I still take people's business cards, phone numbers. I always have a way to reach out to people and to be able to contact my customers, my clients, so that if by chance my website crashes, if by chance YouTube goes away, if by chance TikTok goes away, if by chance Facebook goes away, I have my clients' information and I still have a way to contact them, as well as I make sure that they have a way to contact me. I've noticed that we are really in this day and age of social media where so many people don't even give their email addresses or anything anymore. They'll be like, oh, hit me up on IG, or, subscribe to my YouTube channel, or, just slide in my DMs, whatever it is. However, we don't own any of that. So we want to come up with multiple ways that we can keep in contact with the people that we're building these relationships with. And if your sole source of income for your business is on social media, we need to find a way to keep it on social media as long as we can, but figure out how what you do can also translate outside of social media so that you can still have a thriving business, even if these platforms go away. Because what I would hate to see is for those of us who are really working hard on YouTube, really working hard on TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is, building this huge following, getting these deals. Because just think about it, even if you are getting sponsorship deals, even if there are businesses who are paying you to show their products and whatever, and you're doing these collaborations, if you're no longer on social media, if YouTube goes away, what are they going to be paying you for? So if these platforms go away, then a lot of these collaborations and sponsorship deals are going to go away as well. And so that's why we have to realize that we are our own brand, and what we have to offer can go beyond these social media walls, because things are changing every day. And so that's what we want to talk about today. Hey, Lori, thank you so much for being here. Yes, it has been a pleasure meeting you. And girl, I just read your last comment before I jumped on live, and I see that you are a frequent Oahu traveler. So we're going to have to talk, girl. It might be looking like girls trip. So thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're here. I appreciate you. But yeah, we have to figure out how what we do can still sustain us, even if these social media platforms go away. And I think that I'm a great person to talk about this because I was in this entrepreneurship game long before I was a content creator. And that's why for me, this is just an extra added layer to my business, but it isn't the all of my business. Like I said, would love to be monetized on every single platform. However, the way I have things set up is even if they go away, I have other ways to sustain and still become an entrepreneur and not have to say, okay, well, now I just got to figure out, I got to go get a job. I got to figure out something to do. Girl, we love Hawaii too. We absolutely love Hawaii. Hey, Trish. And so sometimes people feel like, well, I'm a content creator and the thing I create content on I can't really do it without creating content. Like I only do skits or, I do whatever. I do how-to videos. And so I don't know how that's going to translate. So that's what I'm going to help you figure out today. As long as whatever you're doing is answering a question or fulfilling a need for someone, then you can translate that into a business that you can take offline. And again, I'm not telling you to stop your YouTube channel because I'm not telling you not to do TikToks. All I'm saying is let's not worry about a plan B. Y'all know I say it every time I jump on here. We want to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. Like for me, I come on here, I talk, hey, Nikki, thank you so much for coming back, girl, because I don't know why YouTube keep telling people I'm on at the break of dawn. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. But I come on here. I hope I'm motivational to a lot of you. I hope I'm sharing some tips. I hope that I provide entertainment. However, I do all of these things offline. And so what you need to do is figure out how what you can do also can translate offline. For instance, if you're a person who does how-to videos for different computer gadgets, okay, then you need to be able to find out who outside of YouTube or TikTok or whatever would utilize your service and see how maybe you can build courses where people are actually paying outside of YouTube. Because again, we do this stuff on YouTube and we doing it for free. Figure out how you can build courses where you go into deeper detail on the how-to of these gadgets, where maybe you're given a full review, you're comparing different gadgets, and figure out who your target audience is. See how maybe even what you do is a need for a business where maybe they're looking for someone to come in and train their engineers on the newest technology or train, I'm just throwing stuff out here off the top of my head, but y'all get what I'm saying, picking up what I'm putting down. Yeah, see, Nikki get what I'm putting down. So you want to figure out if YouTube went away, if TikTok went away, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, social media platforms went away, how could I still do what I love and I am knowledgeable about? How can I still do that and still be able to get paid without having to depend on the AdSense and the money from these platforms? And so maybe that looks like course creation. Online courses is a huge industry right now. I think the last thing I read is like $400 billion a year that people are spending in online courses. It really got big after COVID because why? People had to start going online. And believe it or not, as much as we say YouTube University and all of that, people do look to consume their content and to learn things outside of YouTube. So there are different platforms out there, but you can also build your own courses. You can do what's called a ClickFunnels, where you have your website and people are able to purchase your courses. And you have what we've been talking about a lot on Miss T's show is that evergreen content where you can get on there and teach that course, teach about that gadget for you gardeners out there, giving that gardening information, talking about the different seeds and the different stages of the seeds and the different times where you should plant depending on your areas. You can make those into full online courses that people are actually paying to get that information. And it is a huge market. You can sit down just like you do for YouTube or TikTok and make that video one time and get paid in your sleep. If you don't believe me, that's what I do. Wallace and I have the Hallway Life. We also have iSalt. We have evergreen content where people pay a subscription. Hey, Dolores, thank you so much for tuning in. They pay every month to get that information and to take those courses. And you could do the same thing. There are also, like I said, tons of schools. If you're into gardening, get yourself certified. Get yourself in a position where your business is legitimized. Do not think that just because you're a content creator that you don't have a legitimate business. Find a way to make that a legitimate business. Get your LLC, your DBA, whatever that's going to look like for you, whatever's best for you, and start looking into what type of contracts you can get with schools, with different businesses who are looking for someone to teach what you know. If you're on here making content, I'm assuming that means that you feel like you're an expert in something. And don't think that it's only the people on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram who are going to want that information. And so you have to be able to think outside the box and don't let these platforms be the controlling force as to how successful your business can be. Coaching is another thing that you can look into, and becoming a certified coach. There's all different types of coaches. Don't think that the only type of coach is a life coach. And I know that the word coach has really got watered down so much where it seems like everybody and their mama is calling themselves a coach. However, it's a real thing. And there are people who want that one-on-one. They want to be able to ask you questions. They want to be able to interface with you. And those are ways that you can get your business going so that if anything were to happen, you still have a thriving business, even if these platforms go down. Let me get into these comments a little bit. Let me see. I needed this because I want to do something showing people how to do graphics and start their startups. Yes. And so, Dolores, that's an awesome thing to do on YouTube. But my thing is, I'm talking about the monetization on YouTube, but those are great things. Like if you're not monetized on YouTube, don't wait to be monetized until you can make some money. You have the knowledge and people need you now. So start recording your courses, get yourself a website, get yourself a subscription, do your courses, group them the way that you want to group them. You can have maybe a 6-week graphic design course where you're sitting down one time, going step by step, again, whatever that looks like for graphics design, because that's not my wheelhouse, where maybe you package 8 different courses. That's maybe the ABCs of graphic designs in your startup, and you're charging people upwards of $2,000, $3,000 to purchase those courses and get that information from you. And that way, and you can continue to do YouTube, continue to build that tribe. But what you really want to be using these platforms is for ways to push them to your other businesses, push them to whatever it is. And that's, again, if your desire is to make YouTube and these types of things what your source of income is. Use this as an extension of your business. Use this as an updated business card where you're giving people just a little bit, just enough so that they know what you're talking about. So then you want to bring them onto your platform. We were talking about on Miss T, the difference between the super chats and why people go to Cash App and things like that, because these platforms keep a portion of your money, which is fine. Do that, but you also want to bring people over into your world and your business where you're keeping all of your money. And the best way to do that is to give people just enough for free so that you can bring them over to your business and they can pay you. Let's see. Trish, Stae Hall. That's why I pursued my cosmetology license, for the knowledge and credibility. Absolutely. And that's the thing with cosmetology. You already know there's so many different things that you can do. It's great to get on YouTube and give those tutorials. But again, you don't want to give it all away, because even once you become monetized, all of that money isn't yours. So I just believe in using things that we can't control as tools. Like YouTube is out here, Facebook is out here. I'm going to utilize these tools. It's free. It don't cost me nothing. I'm running my mouth talking and doing all the things anyway, but I'm not going to give it all away. I want to give just enough away so that people know that I know what I'm talking about. And then we're going to take this online. Then we're booking consultations. Then people are hiring me as their coach. Then people are asking me to come to their organizations and speak. I have gotten tons of business off of Facebook. I may not have millions and millions of followers, but guess what? my 10 people that I take from YouTube onto my regular business platform would make me more money than if I had 10,000 subscribers and my only money was coming from YouTube, because they don't pay enough. It's great, but you want that to be like your extra money, but use that tool to move people to your real business where you can charge what you know you're worth, because that's another thing. Long gone are the days of somebody else telling us what our time and effort is worth. I'm no longer trading my time for dollars. You're not just going to pay me by the hour. You're just not going to pay me depending on how long somebody that you pushed to my video decided to stay, whether they're interested in me or not. I know my worth. I know my value. I want to be able to set my costs. But thank you for allowing me to use your platform to show people my value and worth so that I can take them over to iSalt, take them over to the hallway life, and really charge what I'm worth and give them 100%, because I would be crazy to sit here and give 100%. And YouTube hasn't even told me yet whether they think I'm worthy, because they're like, look, you still don't have 4,000 watched hours and you still don't have 1,000 subscribers. So you're not worthy of our money. The heck I'm not. I already know. So thank you for putting me in front of these people, but I'm going to go ahead and move them over because I know my worth. Thank you, Nikki. I'm trying to share a little something. This is what it's going to look like in March Madness. But yeah, I mean, we have to be able to work smarter, not harder. A lot of people are like, well, you can't treat YouTube and TikTok as a hobby. You have to be serious about it. But again, I'm working myself into a frenzy for somebody else to tell me when it's okay for me to be paid. And that's not cute to me. I know I deserve to be paid. I've built my business. I've built my brand. I don't have to wait for them. So I am going to utilize the platform as long as I can. Because again, like I said, the main reason why I wanted to do this video today is because these platforms can go away at any time. So what I want y'all to be thinking about, if you haven't already, and I know that a couple of you already have, but be thinking about how I can really legitimize my business and make money on my own terms. And I decide when I get paid and how much I get paid and who I get paid by. Let's see. Right. It can be either or. And for me, it's kind of a mixture of both. Like, I treat my social media seriously. I'm consistent on my social media. I believe I give good content and good information on my social media, but it's also fun for me, and I don't depend on it 100% for my livelihood. And again, another reason why I think it may be a little easier for me than other people is because I was in these entrepreneurial streets long before there was a social media. Like, I don't even think, what was that thing called? Y'all, what was that first social media platform where people was talking? Oh my gosh, not Facebook, but the one before that. Well, I was in business before that was even in there. I was an entrepreneur even before there was AOL and all that stuff. So I have always been the type of person who knows the value of legitimizing your business and being able to have your own customers and clients. Another thing is you can also still utilize YouTube. I don't know about TikTok as far as private videos. And it's funny because I have the most followers on TikTok, but I don't know MySpace. I was going to say my book, and I'm like, no, it wasn't a book at all. But I have the most followers on TikTok. I'm monetized on TikTok, but I still know more about YouTube than I do TikTok, simply because I consume more content on YouTube. But I know on YouTube, you know how you have the ability to make certain videos private. Something that I do in a channel that I don't advertise is I use YouTube private videos and give links to clients where I have done videos. And it's almost like that's how I started early on in my creation of my courses. So before, you might say, well, Stae, I don't know nothing about building a website. I don't have the money to hire somebody for a website. Again, utilize these platforms. You can create courses and put them on YouTube, but have them on private where only people who are paying you can see those courses. Did y'all know that? Tell me if I'm telling you something new and tell me if that's old news. Because I feel like that's a good tip. So I'm going to say it again. You can create videos, put them on YouTube, have them as private, but utilize them as a part of whatever it is you're doing. If you're doing in-depth how-tos for only paying clients, if you're doing coaching and you have this evergreen content for your coaching clients, you can create your courses and have them on YouTube, but they don't have to be shared with the masses for free. And that's what I want to kind of change our mindset, is that YouTube is great. Getting monetized on YouTube is great, but don't feel like, okay, so y'all already knew. Okay, well, that was just a little tip. So don't tell everybody that y'all already knew. But I just want us to get out of the mindset of feeling like we have to wait for somebody else to tell us when we deserve to be paid. I want us to be able to use these platforms as extensions of our business and not just as our business. I don't want us to just be worried about constantly these numbers, because the thing is, as much as we try to figure it out, as much as we chop and screw it, we don't know what this algorithm wants. I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. We have no idea what this algorithm wants. One person say you should use 10 hashtags. The other person say, oh, only use 10 hashtags. 5 hashtags. Then somebody says, oh, you need to use the tags. And oh, it's all about the thumbnails. I have seen a little bit of everything. I have seen people blow up. This is one thing that I kind of do. I can be looking at a video and I'm like, wow, this is a really good video. Dang, this video got 25,000 views. And so the first thing I do after I recognize those two things is I jump over to look to see what hashtags did they use. You know what hashtags they use? Most of the time it's none. And if y'all don't believe me, go look at some videos with real high views and people with tons of subscribers and see how many hashtags they use. A lot of them don't use any. And then there's other videos that I look at and the editing is so good and it was really entertaining. I got a lot out of it. And then it's like, why they only got 200 subscribers? How's this video only have 200 views? Like, there's no way. And I've tested certain things, like especially with my travel vlogs, where I'll make sure I put the name of the resort in the title. I'll make sure I put where I am in the hashtag. I'll do all these things and compare it to other people's videos. And this video blows up and it doesn't. Or I'll do 2 travel vlogs while I'm in the same place. One of the travel vlogs, I just got back from Hawaii. One of them is like 400 views. The other one's only like 100. Same person, same type of content, same kind of hashtags. There's just no rhyme or reason. Let me see. Nikki said, I know, right, how many hashtags. Now, again, from my evaluation, Nikki, it looks like none. Because these people with all these views, no hashtags. Let me see. How, if you have imposter syndrome, how do you put yourself in the forefront to promote yourself? That's the thing. Okay, so imposter syndrome is a mindset. And so what you have to do is start talking nice to yourself. Imposter syndrome, to me, the number one easiest way to try to combat it is those affirmations. I just taught on that at the end of last week. Those affirmations are everything. Excuse me, my crazy dog is barking. I told Wallace to take this dog with him. Lux. The people don't want to hear all that. Come here. You want to say hi to the people? He crazy, y'all. It don't take for him to hear but one thing, and he losing his mind. But it's doing those affirmations. It's looking yourself in the mirror, looking yourself in the eye. One of the exercises that I had the women do at the symposium last week was start off with every day for maybe 3 or 4 days, standing in the mirror and just staring yourself in the eye. No makeup, hair not done, flaws and all, just you, the you that you are. Because what I was explaining to them is most of the time, especially as women, when we're looking in the mirror, we are looking to fix what we see as our flaws. I accept your apology, husband. I told you this dog was crazy. But we're looking to put on our makeup, to do our hair. So we're covering things and we're, trying to enhance. So that's why I want us to look in the mirror with no makeup, hair not done, look yourself in the eyes and don't say a word, and just become familiar with you and start accepting yourself for who you are. After that couple of days, because it's going to be uncomfortable. And I just want you to do it for about 60 seconds or so, because that's enough. It will become uncomfortable, because you know how hard it is sometimes to keep eye contact with another person. It's even more difficult to keep eye contact with yourself. And after you do that, I want you to start reciting those affirmations, like on the fourth day. I am worthy. I am beautiful. I am capable. I am deserving. There is nothing that I can't do. Start saying that kind of stuff to yourself. And that is truly how you start to overcome imposter syndrome. And then there's other things we can kind of get deeper into, but that's a better start, because a lot of us have imposter syndrome based on things that we've heard from other people, and we believe those words. So now we have to train ourselves to believe our words. And once you do that, because I'm telling you, I'm a promoting sister, and I used to suffer from certain things like with low self-esteem and whatever. Now you can't tell me anything. People were like, oh my gosh, you're so wonderful. I know. But my thing is, and so are you. And I will tell people in a minute, there is nobody better that you want doing this, this, and this, because I'm the best at this. I'm excellent at that, because I have that confidence. And so that's where I would love to see you start. Let me go. And I hope that helped, Dolores. Exactly. No consistency. Yeah, there's no consistency at all. Story of your life with the dog. These dogs are crazy. Oh, thank you. He is a mess though. I don't know what he be hearing. Okay. I've been doing the affirmations and feel like I'm putting myself out there. It can be a little difficult when your line is called. It's difficult, but I'm telling you, don't give up. Don't give up. And then, you know me, there's also always that next step of maybe getting a therapist, maybe getting a coach, working with someone, being supported, because it's a lot to unlearn, especially if you've been in that mindset for a while and you haven't felt supported, you haven't felt heard, you haven't felt appreciated, you haven't felt valued. It does take some time, but you can get there, Dolores. Just don't give up. Hey, Bayou, thank you so much for being here. And y'all, I've put the link up, so if anybody has anything to share, you know that y'all are more than welcome. I went ahead and posted the link, especially if you have a YouTube channel, a TikTok, if you're on social media. If you have any questions for me, feel free to drop them in the chat or come up and share your question with everybody. Or if you've already been on that journey, I would like to hear, because I just know me and what I do with the soft skills and writing a book. That's another thing, y'all. Write a book. And I'm not saying that you have to write a book that's a once upon a time. I'm not saying that you have to write your life story. I'm not saying that you have to write a devotional. What I'm saying is something tangible that people can take away. And that can just be like a 10-page guide to whatever. Again, I know a lot of us do different kind of things. So whether it's a 10-page guide to content creation, it can be something that you're only charging $5 a piece for, but it gives people something tangible to take away and connects them with you to build your business. You can write a 10, 15-page guide for beginners in gardening. It doesn't take a whole lot of time, but I'm telling you, those are the kind of things that give you more credibility, where you can start to build your business, start to get your customers, start to get your clients, and you're not completely depending on social media to reach people. Get a book, put it on Amazon. People are able to Google you. They see, well, not only does this person have a YouTube channel, they're also a published author. And you might only be a published author of a 15-page guide. But again, look at how many of the gurus on YouTube have that. They have their courses that they're selling. They have their books and pamphlets that they're selling. These people who are getting rich off of YouTube, TikTok, and all of that, it's not because of YouTube and TikTok. They use the platform to build their brand and to make their money. Trust me when I'm telling y'all, you definitely want to do those kind of things, because what they do is they legitimize you and they take you off of this screen into real life, where people are wanting to engage with you wherever they need to engage with you. You don't want one of these platforms to shut down and people just forget all about you. And so there's things that you can do. You can write guides, you can write books, you can create a journal, you can do all kinds of things that are an extension of you. And then we have other platforms like Etsy. We have platforms like Amazon, where you can have your products on there for people to purchase. Get your merch out there. You want to have multiple streams of income. And a lot of times people think when we talk about multiple streams of income that it means I'm doing this business, like I'm selling Mary Kay, but I am also a graphics designer, but then I'm also into the It Works nutritional bars. And so I'm getting money for all those different places. No, because guess what? All of those different things, you still dependent on somebody else. What happens when that business shuts down? You want to create multiple streams of income that you are in control of. Does that make sense? Hey, Tamika, thank you so much for joining us. Let me see. What did Dawn say? I have some of my dad's communion meditations that I think would make a good book. Girl, write that book. I'm telling you now. And again, a book in and of itself may not be what's going to make you rich, but what it is an additional stream of income and a different way to build your brand. And I know with the wisdom and things from your dad, Dawn, there's probably a lot of people who would really benefit and need that. So I would love to see you start with that project, friend. And you know, I am here for any assistance or anything or just support that you would need. And you know, I'll be the first one to buy it. So yeah, definitely. I think that that's a great idea. Okay, you were saying awesome. Yeah, I believe that's awesome as well. Yeah, because the thing is, I just want us to be able to thrive on our own without being dependent, because I know when Facebook first sent that email out saying that they weren't going to be paying again, I know a couple of other content creators that have mainly been on Facebook because, you know, we old and Facebook is just our thing. And they were devastated. They're like, well, I just started making my money on Facebook and now they're taking it away. And so now what am I going to do? And I really don't feel like learning YouTube. I don't feel like learning TikTok. And I'm like, well, truth be told, those things can go away as well. So what you need to do is figure out how you can grow this business and monetize yourself. Let me see what the doctor has to say. It may not be what gets you rich, but it's going to be what gets you started. Absolutely. And you want layers to it, right? And so again, when you see these major content creators out there, and again, I'm not saying all of them, because there was that point in time where some people just blew up. But again, if you don't have your own business, you're dependent on somebody. And so a lot of content creators blew up through sponsorship deals and things like that. But the ones who are going to be evergreen, because you just don't want your content on YouTube to be evergreen, because again, that's somebody else pushing it out there. You want you to be evergreen. You see what I'm saying? You want your brand to be evergreen. You want to be a business that people are going to come back to time after time because you provided them with quality. You're welcome, Dawn. You are welcome. Let me see. It becomes the thing to get you to the thing. Yeah. And so that's what you always want to be doing. You always want to be building and you want to be pouring into yourself. And that's what I want to see us do. Instead of us mulling over so much about what YouTube wants and what TikTok wants, we got to start thinking more about what the people want. Because I don't know about y'all, but it drives me crazy. I'm like, oh, is it better if I do a 20-minute video or should I do a 5-minute video? Are shorts going to be better for me, or do I need to stick to the long form? Should I be putting out content every day, or should I just put out content once a week? And again, I do it because I enjoy it and I'm good with that. But again, I know that whether I crack the code or not, I'm still getting paid because I'm Stae Hall, not because I'm a YouTube content creator. I'm getting paid because I invested in me. I'm getting paid because I took the time to learn my skill and to learn my craft, where people are paying Stae Hall, not because YouTube is deciding whether or not I want to put ads and then split a little bit of money for Stae Hall, because what we're doing out here is we're making them money. And I left corporate America a long time ago because I was tired of making other people money. So what I look at YouTube and things as a partner with me. And again, I appreciate the platforms. I appreciate the ability to be able to put my content out here. I appreciate the ability to be able to reach more people, because again, it's a tool. Have I gotten clients because I'm on TikTok and YouTube that I would have never gotten before because they live in a different state, they live in a different country? Absolutely. But as soon as that person sends me an email and as soon as that person reaches out to me in an inbox, the first thing I'm trying to do is take them off of here to here. It's like, okay, thank you for finding me on youtube.com. Now let's go over to staehall.com where I can talk to you about the services that I offer. Let's take a deeper dive into how I can help you. Thank you so much for appreciating my video on imposter syndrome, my video on soft skills in your business, my video on how I overcame whatever it is. Now let's chat offline about how we can work together in the future. That is what I use it for. I use social media, I use YouTube, all of it as networking, so to speak. It opens me up to other people so that I can use these tools to build my business. Because again, if these ever decide to shut down or they ever decide to stop paying, I don't want to be lost in the sauce. I don't want to have to start from scratch. I don't want to have to reinvent myself. So these are just tools that I appreciate, but they just help me to build my business offline. And again, I can't tell you how important it is to be able to get more than just somebody's YouTube handle. You want a name, you want an email address, and you want a phone number if possible, because I need to know how to reach you if by chance, like we talked about copyright the other day and how they can just shut your channel down. That could be devastation to someone. And just because you used the wrong song or said the wrong thing or whatever, or you missed a strike and didn't take the course. Like I didn't even know there was a course. I can't remember whose, I don't know if it was Tuber Chad or Miss T, and they were talking about, there's a course you could take to get the strike. Like, you don't want, hey, Frugal Mama, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. But you don't want those types of things to be the end all be all of your business. You work too hard. You put too much into this. You have too much to offer. So you have to figure out a way that even if those things happen, you can still sustain. Because if you don't figure that out, I'm going to tell you a secret. You still working for somebody. That's not truly being an entrepreneur. That's not truly being in business. Oh, it was Miss T. Okay. Hey, precious pieces. How are you? Yeah, I knew. I consume 90% of my content on YouTube. I'm not a TV person. And so sometimes I forget whose YouTube it was. And now I'm, graduated into Netflix. I've been watching a little Netflix the past couple of days. Netflix ain't been missing. Why y'all ain't telling me about Netflix? But yeah, Netflix been having some good stuff on there. But you don't want that to be the end all be all of your business. And like I said, when someone else is holding the purse strings, when someone else is deciding how much you'll get paid and when you get paid, that means you're working for them. I've decided to use social media, like I said, in a way where we're working together. I'm using this to build my business offline, and I appreciate these platforms for allowing me to do it. However, even if they snatch the rug from under me, I'm still going to be good. And that's what I want for each of us. And so what I really wanted to impress upon you today was just to be thinking, if you haven't already, what is it that you can do offline to build your business and to earn an income that still is in line with the content that you're creating? Because again, if you're someone who just does the skits, then how about getting a nonprofit together and teaching comedic relief to people who are in stressful situations, teaching acting classes and doing things like that? if you're someone who is really big in content creations and you're doing a whole lot of different things, how about creating a course teaching other people how to create content? Like, you have to be able to think of what you can do. It's like with Miss T and what she does. I see her definitely as having like a regular morning show where, you know, it's being produced and there's people. She has the personality for that. She has the following for that. There are so many things that different people do where you can take it offline and still do the same thing, but you're the one who's calling the shots. You're building your own business. And the only reason why your business would fail, the only reason why you wouldn't make money is because you're not performing. And y'all know I say it all the time. When I'm the problem, it's easy for me to accept that, because then I know what I can control me. I can change me if I need to. But if YouTube is the problem and it's just YouTube's not putting my videos out there, I don't know what hashtags to put, or they keep changing up the algorithm, or they decided that, you know, this that I did wasn't right. I can't control that. And so while I'm going to continue to use the platforms, I still need the bulk of what I'm doing to be controlled by me. And that's why I split up my time and energy as to how much time and energy I'm going to put into social media versus how much time I'm going to put into my business that is off of social media. And for me, the off of social media is always going to win, is always going to trump social media, because I'm going to be me off of social media, whether YouTube and TikTok are here or not. Let's see. I didn't miss it. Hey, Sarah's Happy Hives. No, you didn't miss it. I'm still up here running my mouth. And again, I put the link to the live stream at the top. So if anybody wants to join me, if you have any input, any opinions, y'all know I don't believe that I know everything. I know a little bit about a whole lot of stuff, and I share what I know, but I'm always open to other people's input. J3 joined us up here. Was that yesterday? Yeah, that was just yesterday. That seems like a long time ago, but he joined Wallace and I up here yesterday, giving us all of his good relationship information with his 38-year-old thriving, successful marriage. But yeah, I love to hear from y'all. So never hesitate to jump up. Even if you be like, Stae, I just don't agree with that because whatever. I'm always willing to listen to another opinion. So I am up here. Let's see. Dolores said it's hard to set up out on faith. Oh, step out on faith, I believe you were saying, especially on a fixed income, but I see the possibility to grow. Yeah, it is difficult. And if anybody knows about stepping out on faith, girl, let me tell you, my husband and I decided in 2023 that that's exactly what we were going to do. And so we both had corporate jobs for years. I've always been an entrepreneur, but for a lot of that time, I also had a job as well. My husband has always had a job. So in 2023, we were like officially empty nesters, where it was like everybody was doing their thing and we only had one still in college. So, you know, he still technically lives here, but he took on an internship that caused him to be gone from home most of the year. And so we were really, I figured that's what you were saying, Dolores. We were really, empty nesters. And so we decided to bet on ourselves. We're like, nobody else is dependent on us anymore. The kids are all good. We're solid. We have a good savings. We still are relatively young. We both turned 50 in 2023. Was it 2023 we turned 50? No, we turned 50 in 2022. And so we decided to bet on ourselves and step out on faith. So I left my corporate job, which mine was contract. So I didn't work every year, all year. I think I've explained to y'all how I worked before. I was a paralegal for the United States government, but I only worked during times of a disaster. But I left in April, and then I built the business, got a couple of contracts, did some things, and we felt secure enough where my husband was able to leave in June. And we have been thriving ever since. Definitely stepped out on faith. It's not always easy, but the thing is, you just have to make sure that you put yourself in a certain position and just have that little bit of a cushion before, because, life be lifing. And stepping out on faith doesn't necessarily mean, oh, it's going to be great, but just be prepared. But I'm telling you, it is so fulfilling. So even on the toughest days in this entrepreneurship journey, it still isn't even nearly as bad as just the all right days of corporate. You know what I mean? It's just something different. There are times where I am up working with my laptop on my lap till 2:00 in the morning, but it just hits different. I still get a good night's sleep and I wake up the next morning refreshed and ready to do it all again. There's just nothing like being in business for yourself and setting your own standards and your own goals, and you set the bar for you. I can't say it enough how much you knowing what you're worth and getting what you're worth and not depending on anybody else to tell you that. So yeah, it's not easy, but it's fulfilling. I've been getting out of my comfort zone and it's working. Yeah, because the thing is, no change happens in the comfort zone, right? The comfort zone, you can just substitute that for complacency. You stay in the comfort zone, that means you're complacent. And if you're in your comfort zone, but you still have a desire to do more and you have aspirations, then guess what? You ain't comfortable because you're wishing and you got that woulda, shoulda, coulda. And the comfort zone isn't always easy, right? Sometimes it's going to be tough. Sometimes there's some pain, but it's no different than whenever you're on a fitness journey or whatever, and you're lifting those weights. It's not always going to feel good. You're going to be sore some days, but if you quit and give up, you're never going to build that muscle. But if you push through the pain and you continue to work at it, even through the uncomfortable times, you're going to get the results that you look for. And so I always tell people, just when it starts to hurt, that's when you need to keep pushing because you know you're almost on the other end of it. It's just like, you know, when you work out and you might not be sore the next day and you feel like, well, I didn't really work out. But then 2 days later, you feel it. You're like, okay, I really did something. Hey, Chrissy, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much, boo. Thank you. And I think I already said hi to Tamika and she's saying hello to everyone else. But yeah, get out of that comfort zone because nothing happens in the comfort zone. That's complacency. And that's why you're comfortable. Anytime there's going to be a change. I talked to y'all about the braces on the teeth. There are so many things that I could talk about where the change is dynamic. There's going to be some pain involved, but it's worth it. Yeah, someone told me people who make disability and etc. should find the cap and can make every year. I think, yes. I have clients who, are on disability or Social Security or whatever, but they have a certain amount that they can make past that, and they find out what that is, and then they find something they love and they make that money, especially again, if that's what you have a desire to do. And it feels so good. Like I said, even on my worst days in entrepreneurship, I wouldn't go back to nobody's job. No, that's just not where it's at for me. And again, it has to be, and I know you know all about it, Chrissy, because you are an awesome entrepreneur. Okay, Tim saying hello to everyone. Sarah says slow progress turns into big growth. Absolutely. And that's the thing. You just can't give up on yourself. You have to bet on yourself, step out on faith, and don't feel like just because you're not a millionaire in 1 year that you're not making any progress. You know, it takes businesses sometimes 5 years or more to really see a lot. That's why you got to have that little cushion. But the thing is, as long as you're sustaining, like life looked different to me as an entrepreneur. Like when I was working for corporate, money looked different to me and the things I wanted to do, because guess what? I was always wanting to do stuff, buy stuff, go places, because I wasn't happy in my job. So I was always needing something to kind of pacify me. Well, I'm going to buy this bag and I'm going to do this. I work hard. I deserve this. Let's go out and have a $300 steak dinner. Let's do this. I work hard for my money. Well, as an entrepreneur, for me, it's a little different. It's a little easier for me to say, okay, well, I need to save and I didn't make this much this month, so I'm not going to spend X amount, or we're not going to eat out every day, or we're going to do this and that, because it's my own business. And I don't feel like, well, I need to treat myself because I'm working so hard. No, being in business for myself in and of itself is a treat. So I'm good with that. I don't mind having to maybe sacrifice and cut some corners and do without, because it's my business. It's my baby. It's no different than, you know, having your first kids and you have to budget a little differently because now you have this child to take care of. You don't mind maybe not getting your nails done every week or getting your hair done every week because you have to do things for the baby. And that makes all the difference in the world. You don't feel like you're doing without. You don't feel like any lack because you have this beautiful baby that you're taking care of. And that's the same thing with the business. I feel no lack. I don't care if I'm not making as much as I could have made if I would have stayed and climbed the corporate ladder. I know it'll get there eventually, but I feel no lack because it's my business. It's my baby. It's not a sacrifice. I'm doing what I want to do. This is for me. How is it a sacrifice when you're doing it for yourself? But you have to be completely sold out, and you have to be willing to step out on faith and bet on yourself. Again, be prepared. Do all the things, do your research, make sure you legitimize your business, make sure that you do, your due diligence, and make sure that it's something that's viable, but just do it. And it may take you a year or so just to do the research and feel comfortable enough and step in, but just do something every day. And that's what I was. Every day I was doing something to build my business. Every day I was doing some research. Another great thing to do as far as taking your business offline and building a viable business is getting involved in the outside world, right? So some of us are so social media oriented. We're on YouTube. And so the only people we talk to is on YouTube. The only people we talk to is on TikTok or Facebook. Y'all, there's real people outside who are doing business as well. And there's these things called like networking events where you can go out and meet like-minded entrepreneurs, some of them who utilize social media, some of them who don't, but you can build relationships outside of this online world that we've all become so comfortable with and get ideas. You can get support. I know I did a live not too long ago talking about the different kind of funding that can be out there when you get involved in different cohorts. There are banks out there who are giving money to entrepreneurs and small business owners just for going through maybe a 6-week course where that in and of itself is worth everything to get the knowledge that you need to write a business plan, to help you with your branding. And then at the end of it, you can do a pitch and end up with upwards of $20,000 for your business. I don't see YouTube out here giving people no grants to help them build their business. You know what I mean? And so there's opportunities, there is money to be made, there are people to meet, and there is space for growth. And so I just want us to be looking at that, because again, even if all of this whole social media world goes away, the real people out there, they're still going to be out there. And so you want to start building those relationships. You want to start getting to know those people. You want those people to start getting to know you. And of course, invite them to subscribe to your channel. Invite them to follow you on TikTok. But just don't feel like, really? My husband texted me. Oh, goodness, it gets on my nerves. Just don't feel like this is all that you have, and don't feel like, well, I've built a social media business or I have a YouTube channel, so this is all I do. YouTube looks right. They taking 30%, right? 30%. It's like, even in a lot of the multi-level marketing, and I don't know if any of y'all have ever been into multi-level marketing, but 30%, that's a lot to me. That is a lot to me. And again, I'll take it. I'll take it because it's not costing me anything, because this is what I do anyway. But I need 100% of what I'm earning, but I get it. It's their platform. And so that's almost like, charge and rent. That's a lease. I get it, but that can't be all that I have. And then, like I said, the money is not really made with the AdSense. The money is made in the collaborations and the sponsorships, but you're still dependent on YouTube to push you out there enough to get those sponsorships. And so that's something that we're going to talk about as well, because I've been shopping some brands, I'm doing some things, and I want to talk about that during March Madness, just how to get these sponsorships. So let me know, y'all. Look, I'm going to try the thing that I see people doing. Put a 1 in the chat if you're interested in learning how to go after the sponsorships and the things that you need to do so these sponsors can recognize you, because a lot of people think that you have to have tons and tons of subscribers and tons of followers and all of that in order to get the sponsorship deals, but that's not necessarily true. It could have a lot to do. Okay, so Sarah's interested. We're going to talk about it because I've learned some things. Tim is interested. you can go after these deals. Now, a lot of the companies aren't going to necessarily come after you if you don't have big numbers, because you're not going to be on their radar. But there are certain ways that you can pitch yourself to these companies to get some deals. And deals look different. Some of the deals, nobody asked you to put a 2 in the chat. While it's evidently you are not busy, so you need to stop. He getting an oil change or something he doing with his car, so he bored. But there are things that you can do where you can pitch yourself, and the sponsorships look different. Like some of the sponsors mean like, hey, talk about our content for your video for the first 2 minutes and we'll pay you X amount of dollars. Some of them, it's not a true sponsorship where you're getting paid, but you can just get PR, which means they'll just send you free product. And sometimes when you get PR, they want you to talk about their product, and sometimes you don't have to. And so I have gotten PR before. I've had some smaller sponsorship deals, but the thing is, there are ways to pitch yourself even before you have those numbers, and you don't have to be monetized on Facebook to get those sponsorship deals. Y'all quit laughing at Wallace. All y'all doing is encouraging his bad behavior. That's exactly what I coach against. Do not encourage bad behavior. But I do appreciate y'all for embracing my wacky husband. Let's see. I'm not a content creator, but always willing to learn. Oh, that's right. Tim, you're not a creator, but you are an awesome supporter. I love that. Oh, you're driving. So get off the, quit texting and driving before I call the popo. But yeah, so there are ways to pitch these brands, and especially those of us who are more seasoned. A lot of these brands don't work with a lot of people in our age group. And so it would be the prime opportunity for them to do so. And so I will definitely, within this March Madness, talk to y'all about how I have gone after some of these deals. Another thing and another way to take your business off of social media is to entertain doing speaking engagements, talking about whatever it is that you talk about. If you can sit behind this camera and you can talk, you can sit in front of a room of people and talk. There are schools, there are universities, whatever it is that you do, I'm telling you, if there are people on YouTube who are interested in your content. Now, if you vlog only, that's a little different. But again, even if you vlog only, there's a reason why you vlog. There's something that you're passionate about. There's something that you have an expertise in. But any of you who have your niche, and that's a whole nother thing too, why YouTube probably doesn't like me. I refuse to niche because this is me. Like, I do all the things. I want to share all the things. I am very passionate about emotional intelligence and soft skills. But I don't want to just talk about emotional intelligence and soft skills every day. Sometimes I want to talk about my new nail polish. Sometimes I want to talk about women's empowerment. So yeah, I already missed the mark with niching. But if you do have a niche, just do some research and figure out where you can go, and people will pay you to come and talk about whatever your niche is. Again, I cannot say enough how many people have found me on YouTube and they just happened upon the right video and was like, oh my goodness, I saw your video on, and I'm going to keep saying imposter syndrome because that's what I spoke on the most recently. But no, let me not even use imposter syndrome because I spoke on that most recently, but they did not find me on YouTube. But what was, oh my gosh, Wallace, he just walked in the door, y'all. What did I speak on at that last event where the lady found me on YouTube? What was my subject that day? Oh, it was just soft skills in general, right? Yeah. So she had found me on YouTube and saw where I talked about soft skills for supreme success. And I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm also a newspaper columnist. That's something else that you can do. If you're an expert in something, you can reach out to a newspaper. Don't always wait for people to reach out to you. And if they don't already have a column about whatever it is that you do, and it's something that is interesting, and they think that people will have an interest, whether it's natural hair, Trish, whether it's beekeeping, Sarah, whether it's gardening, J3, and you know, the other things that y'all do. If your local newspaper does not already have a column on it, you can reach out and say, this is what I do. I have a YouTube channel. This is how many subscribers I have. This is how many views my video get. I think that this would be a great addition to your newspaper. I'm telling y'all this because I know it to be true, but I'm a columnist and I write an article for a newspaper, the Fort Worth Black News, on soft skills for supreme success. So someone saw my article and then they went to my YouTube channel, and in turn, that turned into a paid speaking engagement for me. So I just want y'all to think about the things you do and the different ways that you can access people. Sarah said, I just can't not talk about bees. That's funny. And the thing is, now y'all notice with me, those of you who tune in on a regular, no matter what I'm talking about, at some point, it's going to get back into self-love. Self-love is going to have something to do with everything I'm talking about, whether I'm doing a get ready with me and putting on my makeup, whether I'm talking about how to legitimize your business, whether I'm talking about how to take your business, because we've already touched on it today, how to take your business off of social media. Self-love, I can't not talk about self-love. That is my number one passion. That is going to be the message in every video I do every single time, no matter what. So I get it. That passion, that is going to shine through every single time. But again, that's how you come up with your multiple streams of income. That's how you come up with all of the different things that you can do, because we are multifaceted and we don't just have this one track mind, but we do have that thing that we're passionate about and that motivates us. Try a little tenderness. Absolutely. Absolutely. It goes a long way. And so I hope that something I said has been impactful, and let me know. Schools and local nonprofits are always looking for speakers. Yeah, in all different types of categories. But let me know, how many of y'all gonna join me for March Madness? I done challenged Nikki. I challenged Lisa J and Lachey. I couldn't challenge Miss T because she on every day anyway. But this is fun, y'all. How many of y'all gonna join me in March Madness? We just got 2 weeks, just to the 31st. Get on every day. It doesn't have to be long because I'm getting ready to get off now. We've only been on a little over an hour. But let me know who's gonna give me a heart in the chat. Watch, it's gonna be dry. Give me a heart in the chat if you're gonna be joining me for March Madness, because it's not too late. This is only day 2. Only day 2. Y'all can do it. This can be a thing. And especially, you know, we're trying to get the watch hours, because again, we're not trying to give up on YouTube. We're just trying to extend it. So none of y'all are going to join me for March Madness. I can't get one commitment. I don't know if y'all watch Good Times, but is that you, J3? That's not a heart. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to take it as a commitment. But did y'all watch Good Times when they had that preacher on it? Was it Good Times when he was like, I hear one little voice in the wind? Oh my goodness. So J3, I'm taking that as your confirmation. You're going to be going live every day. I just think it's fun, and it's just a way to continue to build, because again, even though I'm trying to encourage everybody to think about taking their business off of social media, it's not off of social media like off. We just want to be on here and build the clientele so that we can have both. So yeah, the more you show up and being consistent, that's always going to be the key, whether you're on YouTube or not. Being consistent, showing up, and you have to give good quality content even when you're not online. I can't just get up in front of a group of people and talk a bunch of bullcorn and continue to grow my business. So it's always sharing content, whether you're talking to people in person, whether you are creating a course, or whether you're making videos for YouTube. All of it is still content. So I appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. I think I'm going to jump off of here and make me a sandwich because that is what I can do quickly, because I have not prepared anything to cook. Y'all know I cook just about every day, but I have not been able to get back into the swing of my regular cooking since we've been back from Hawaii. We've been back a little over a week now, and I think I've only cooked twice. And so we've been eating out a lot, and I decided to, oh, you do show up every morning, J3. That's not fair. Yeah, so I got to give you that same pass with Miss T, because you already there. But yeah, I ordered some groceries today, but the groceries that I ordered were to make sandwiches. So that's not still officially cooking, but that's what we're going to eat. So good night, wellness. Thank you so much for being here. Sarah, thank you for being here as well. I appreciate you. Thank y'all so much. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that like button. I would really, really, really appreciate it so much. And you know what? I'm going to see y'all again tomorrow. So I'm definitely going to say goodbye. But y'all know the drill. Always be kind. Always love one another. But never forget to live your life. L-Y-F-E. Love yourself first explicitly. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.
Living life is game. Hey, hey. 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 Love yourself first, explicitly. You overtook yourself to move with that energy. Empower your self-esteem. Self-love is king. That's the only way to win. That's how you empower your dreams. Living life is game. Hey.